Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this another brand new day. Another brand new day where I find I'm feeling a little bit more depressed, which means, my depression cycle for decades was a solid every 2 weeks. 2 weeks depressed, 2 weeks normal, 2 weeks depressed, 2 weeks normal. These past couple years, through the use of medications and all this, it's gotten much more random. Sometimes it'll just go wham and wham and wham in the space of a one day. So, thumbs up on that. I think I'm feeling a bit more of the depressed part, but such is life. Such is life. And so, for the Shelton, Washington weather plague rat and spider report, for the weather, it was kind of wet and rainy last night, while not actually raining at night. So I carried my umbrella when I went walkies and didn't need it. So thumbs up on that. Right now, it's dark outside. So thumbs up on that. Can't really tell past that on weather. For the plague rat report, I see about 60% of the people wearing masks when I go out walkies on the street, and that's good. I don't see many people on the street. If I walk to Walmart, even leaving at 5 o'clock, when it's still busy, I still don't pass by many people on the street, so that's good. And most people are wearing their masks, and I'm wearing my mask outside when I can, so definitely a thumbs up on that. So good thing. When in the stores, most people were, you do what you can. So spider report, big old gangly leg spider down there. I don't know if it's the one that's grown up down there. I don't know if the one it's decided to take up the web that's there, but it's a pretty big spider, and I understand. I was arachnophobic for 50 some odd years. I look at the spiders, and like the gangly leg spider down there, it's got a gray body with gray legs, and it's kind of a misshapen body and those long gangly legs. Yeah, I have a primitive fear of creepy crawlies. That part of me says, ew, it's a spider, awful, get rid of it. The other part of me that says, well, yeah, but I know it's just a spider. It's harmless, and it's eating the things that are here that I don't like. So, yeah, I'll share my space with it happily these days. And sure, they're creepy crawly looking with their bodies, but it's not a harmful spider. Unless you live in Australia, 99% of the time you come across the spider is going to be more afraid of you and want to get away. It doesn't want to hurt you. It's only going to, even black widow spiders, when they bite people, it's because they're just trying to get away, and 99% of those hits, they don't use their venom because they're just trying to bite so that you go, and so they can run while you're recoiling a bit to go, ow. They're not trying to actually hurt you. They're just trying to cause you to go, ow, so that they can escape. Australia, of course, is different. Everything there wants to kill you. So, stay away from the spiders. Please, they're incredibly dangerous. They can bite through toenails, even a big toenail, and they're incredibly venomous. I'd love to visit. I'm never going to be able to. I'm never going to have money, and I can only travel to places where cannabis is 100% legal. So I'm never going to be able to travel, but it'd be nice to travel. Thumbs up. So that was the spider report. Weather, plague rat, weather, spider. That's all of them, isn't it? Thumbs up on that. So it's a brand new day. I'm a little bit slower than I normally would. It is 7:13 now, and I normally have been starting just a bit before 7. This was almost 10 after. Still, it's a weekend, so thumbs up. And speaking of feeling depressed, I already know, having been on YouTube for 6 years now, that I'm not going to be famous and rich. But it's still, even knowing that I'm making niche videos for a niche audience, it's still painful when one of my barely gets views anyway videos gets even less views than normal. I enjoy first-person shooters. I enjoy pixel art shooters that are reminiscent of the old things. So I've got yesterday's episode of Nightmare Reaper, and it's honestly wondering if I should post the second half today. Because if I break 200 views on a video, I figure that's good. If I break 300 like some do, that's awesome. If I break 400, that one's gone viral for me anymore. I mean, I've still got videos like my reaction videos to like Lil Peep and all that have millions and millions of views. But I don't get paid a penny for those, so it doesn't even matter. So, life is life. But my Nightmare Reaper video has just broken 140 views, and that's sad, even for me. So yeah, serious debate in my mind about whether or not to even actually post the second half, because the second half of videos usually get about half as many views as the first half. So I'll be lucky to break 100 with part 2. And I need all the money I can get, because I don't have enough money to buy food and cat food again this month. Of course. So, I mean, and my views have kept going down consistently over time. And I understand. I don't have the money to buy the new popular games, so I can't play what's popular. And a lot of the popular stuff is multiplayer, and I don't play multiplayer. So I've cut myself off of any possibility of breakout and money by playing things that aren't incredibly popular. Now, I know not everybody plays stuff that's incredibly popular, and that's life. That's good too. I don't want to complain about too much. I am mildly unhappy on top of my depression, which is why I'm talking about it. So I'm not bitterly disappointed or incredibly unhappy, because anybody watching at all is a plus. So I may be sad, but I'm also very grateful and happy that anybody watches at all. Thank you all so very much. Whether you just watch my vlog, whether you watch my vlog and the game videos, anything at all is appreciated. Thank you so much. I do have other things on my topics list, though, so nothing new that I'd written down. I have been, even though I slept okay last night, and even though I've been up like really early, like 5 o'clock in the morning, even though I'd been up since 5, it was like I looked at my clock and it was 6:30 at some point, and an hour and a half had gone by. I was still just sitting, and it felt like 15 minutes had passed. So, yay. But on my topics list here, one of the weird things that I sort of think is fascinating about life is the form of a crab is apparently such an efficient and wonderful form that things keep turning into crabs without actually being crabs. And crabs have evolved like 4 or 5 different times. True crabs throughout all of Earth history. Things are still turning into crabs that aren't crabs. And in fact, if you take a look at a lot of the things that we call crabs out there, they're not actually crabs. Like the coconut crab, this gigantic thing that goes crawling around. And there's like a lot of the... There's this one crab that has like a 12 length leg span, and that's not an actual crab. They're crab form in shape, but they're not crabs. And you have to follow species lines and all that to figure out what an animal actually is, because if you just look at it, you go, oh, that's a crab, but then you follow how it got there, and no, it's not a crab at all. It's just taken the shape of a crab, because the crab shape is very efficient. And so things keep turning into crabs because that is a very efficient and good, powerful shape. Thumbs up for that. Past that, it's The word, actually, there's an actual word for things turning into crabs over time, and that is carcinization. The process of becoming a crab, whether or not you're an actual crab or just something that's becoming crab-like in shape. And that's bizarre, but cool, I guess. And as a quick minor thing, because it's a lot of quick minor things today, as always, my brain just ping, 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 so it's whatever I happen to think of. I've been thinking about Westerns again, because Westerns as a genre for me, plain Westerns, not all that interesting. Sometimes they are, not so much in movies, though I'll watch Western movies, but though it's not the fact that it's a Western, it's the story being told that's important. Now, how was I going on about them? Yes, because I do play some Western type games. I mean, I've got Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then there was the earlier one that was part of a different series, but it was another Red Dead game. I think it was just called Red Dead. And that was fun. And I enjoy them that way. But you know what's really fun about Westerns is when you mix them with other genres. I find I've really enjoyed those. One of my favorite Western novels was a novel of these two sort of amoral cowboys. And they came across an alien craft with an alien. And that was the story of these cowboys having to deal with this minor alien invasion. I like that stuff. Like Westerns and a zombie plague. Westerns and horror. You add Westerns on their own. Like I say, if the story's good, I'll watch it, but on the whole, it's not all that interesting. But you add that other thing to it, and all of a sudden, that is a fascinating topic for me. I will get into it heavy duty. On its own, boring. Add something else to it, and it's greater than both of the parts combined. So it's like 1 + 1 = 8. It's awesome. And I just thought I'd mention that because I can't remember what I was watching yesterday, but it reminded me of the role-playing game. I think it might have even been about role-playing games. There's a pen and paper role-playing game like called Weird West or something such like that, where it's back when Americans were really starting to push across the countryside, and in this setting, the Native American Indians were not appreciative and unleashed a curse. And now you've got your pockets of your cities and safety, and you have to travel between cities, but it's a very cursed land out there between cities. And not all of the tribes and American Indians are happy about what's happened. They weren't happy about the white man invading, but this curse has been hurting them as hard as anyone else. So they're not pleased. And it's a fascinating setting that way. And I love it when people do stuff like that. It should happen more often. It would be a good thing. Oh, and then I'm going to mention this one because it is one thing that I've been thinking about for a time. I have, throughout my entire life, been a devout reader, just devouring books. I was, when I was a teenager, always reading about 5 books at a time. Various places of the house, I'd have a different book, and I kept it all straight in my head. And I was able to keep reading all the way through my life. I slowed down the first time I really got into computers, and that bothered me, but I was able to rationalize it at the time. I'm not reading words, but I'm still reading a game, because I was playing games a lot like that. I'm reading the text, I'm reading the screen, I'm figuring out the situations, and that got me through. I was still reading, just not as much. Well, my wife read, we didn't have a whole lot of place for books, and so I couldn't really put out the books that I had. And after she died, I've gotten rid of 99% of my books, and I find I read so rarely. For a time, I was reading on tablets, but then the last tablet that I had, which was given to me by a subscriber, a very kind subscriber, for whatever reason, I was reading a book and then suddenly the book went away and it won't read the SD cards anymore. SD card is fine, it won't read SD cards anymore. So I don't read because my reader and my books are on the SD card. I haven't read for a while now, and that makes me sad, but at the same time, people change. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. I've forgotten how the rest of my spiel goes, but if I mispronounce a username, there we go. My sincere apologies. I am an American English speaker. We're not good at names, and even though I count American Sign Language, as you saw, I will just forget things in mid-speech. So, my sincere apologies. But let me open up my Chrome and let's get started. We have Deb Scott, greatly appreciated, and Ice Damon, good to see you in the comments. We have Ruben Cavarubios, I'm nowhere close, but thank you very much. We have Chetty Elitat, thank you. Brendan PD, greatly appreciated. Easy, thumbs up, good to see everybody that comments. Zarin L. Dravian, thumbs up and thank you. Bruce Wayne is hot, greatly appreciated. LVZIFY, thumbs up and thank you. Edward Eishoff, greatly appreciated. Confused Owl 29, always good to see you in the comments. Colin Reisenauer, thumbs up. Blink Torch, greatly appreciated. Tommy Copeland, very good to see you in the comments and always good to help. Connor Nugent, greatly appreciated. Noah Geneve Brown, thumbs up. Christopher Thomas, greatly appreciated. Clancy Guy, thumbs up. We have Russian Timing, always good to see you. A definite good thing. We have anyone? Stephen Leone, thumbs up, and very good to see you in the comments. Poopa, thumbs up. Rodrigo 956, thumbs up and thank you. And that's it. 23 comments in the last 24 hours. Thank you so much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and that is appreciated to no end. If you could check out my various things down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list link as well. That would be cool if you could check that out. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. A definite thumbs up. We all know that the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. It is ready, not eager but ready, to cast that scorn upon any and all whom it finds disappointing. Its mockery is severe. Do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment. It suffers from a surplus of scorn. And Black Lives Matter. I don't know why it's controversial to say that we shouldn't murder American citizens in the streets just because of the color of their skin, but apparently it is. But it shouldn't be. And justice for everybody who has been beaten or murdered by the jackbooted fascist thugs in police uniforms. So please, wear a mask, wash your hands, try not to touch your face. Please don't go out unless you have to. Practice your social distancing if you do. It's the only real way we're going to get through this. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and stay as creative as you can and practice as much self-care as you can.